As I waited for the subway, I thought about how mundane this routine was, and I could not help but wonder. Well, a lot of things. I was struggling for a muse, and while I was still struggling, my train of thoughts was interrupted by two very alluring women sitting next to me, drooling over some celebrity on Instagram. On a regular day, I would have smiled, but not today. It irked me. I wanted to roll my eyes at them. There it was, my muse. I wanted to be anywhere but here. I was homesick. Not the kind of homesick that makes you want to visit home, but the kind of homesick that makes you yearn for lavender sunsets, silhouettes of whirlybirds, and glittering mountain heads, and for skies where people were having more conversations about poetry and less blanched conversations about sex and war, where lovers were stargazing as the wind brushed their faces, while they were humming tunes that sounded more like love and less like melancholy. I could not find a soul struggling to come up out of the abyss of human misery. People were dancing to Mozart's symphonies, in love and smiles reaching their shimmering eyes. There were happily ever afters and days as merry as Christmas, and people in love as deep as a Philippine trench. I was staring at the clear azure sky as I fell in love with the way it met the horizon, and the deafening silence became as beautiful as the glimmer in the eyes of a bride walking down the aisle. And in that moment, I wish I became a metaphor woven into words describing the beauty of souls and nature and literature, describing the beauty of oceans and crimson skies and dreamy eyes. I heard a thud. My dream world collided with the real world. The women were still drooling. I was still on the subway, and people were still having blanched conversations about sex and war. I put my journal away and checked my emails. Tonight, over a glass of cheap wine, I'll build more castles in the air.